Good evening to everybody. It brings me immense pleasure to talk at such a place like the ICC, which is a representative body of Indian culture outside of India. I'm very, very honored to be here. It's interesting that the way we started off, and ma'am introduced yoga in a very, very perfect way, and that's exactly the orientation of yoga that we are going to follow for this talk. Now I have a challenge at hand, is because I have to squeeze 7,000 years of Indian cultural history into 60 minutes. That's one challenge. Second challenge, but challenging question is, many times I get asked, is yoga is such an ancient science, or sometimes people call it art, is it still applicable? And that's why I purposely chose this topic, 10 ways to live effortlessly through yoga. Yes, of course it is applicable, and that's why we practice. Not just in the physical way, but also in the philosophical way, in its way of attitude, the attitude of yoga, the philosophy of yoga, the orientation of yoga are as much viable today as they were 5,000 years ago. And how do we know it? We know it because in the field of yoga we are still studying scriptures or books that were written 4,000, 5,000 years ago. We are still studying, we are still applying, we are still getting inspired by. Right? What in Bhagavad Gita Sri Krishna said to Arjuna is still very much applicable to us even after 4,000 years. So yoga is not something as many people many times nowadays feel as a fad or as a in thing to do. No. It is the only perhaps in thing to do that we have been doing since last 5,000 years. What we'll do today is, we'll today quickly find out how in these 10 little ways we can make our life effective through methods of yoga. Is this clear? I'm a very spontaneous speaker. I don't write my speeches, and true to the spirit of yoga, I would like to keep this talk very open, though I have made slides and stuff like that. Let us we'll have a question answer session also later, but let us try to have a nice concise journey through all aspects of yoga. Is it okay? And let us see what is applicable. And I guarantee to you, out of these 10 points, you know why 10? Why I have chosen 10? See, because any teacher here, every teacher will know this. If you give 10 points to the students, they will understand 5. They will practice 3. They will apply 2. And they will realize 1. Right? So, not doubting your competence, but that's how it is. And it's not my idea. It's an orientation very typical to yoga. For example, if you read Bhagavad Gita, one of the scriptures of yoga, you will see Krishna telling the same thing again and again and again to Arjuna. In fact, many commentators of Bhagavad Gita have said, why is Krishna repeating the same points again and again? Why? Because traditionally the way of learning is you repeat. Repetition is a way of learning. And in yoga we call that sadhana. Sadhana means a practice that you do diligently every day. Let me make one thing clear. Yoga is an experience. Yoga is an experience. It is not theory. Yes, we have a lot of theories. We have this philosophy, we have that philosophy, we have this school, we have that school. But all schools are only on the paper unless and until they are applied to your life, and the information that these books provide is realized. Okay? So let's look at a background of what yoga is. You know, the reason I have to clarify this, because there's a lot of, as we call as noise, a lot of erroneous notions about yoga in today's world. For example, if we will open this slide later because everybody already reads it. You are going by BTS and bam, you see a billboard, some yoga studio. And what is the image that goes with it? That person has his leg or her leg behind her head. So, no, it's an experience of all yoga teachers. I have a few yoga teachers here. And do you do yoga? The first thing that people will say is, no, I am not flexible. Or, luckily there's another orientation which is closer to the reality. They say, oh no, my mind is too busy. Good. That's little closer, less erroneous, right? So, I want to clarify what yoga is really. Okay? So, the way we look at it means, if I can call myself as a traditionally inspired yogis, the way they look at yoga is, yoga is a science of self-transformation. It's exactly what you said, ma'am. Yoga is a science of self-transformation. Now, some people, I teach around the world, and for some reason, I still don't know, people are a little scared of this word transformation. So sometimes I use another word, personal development, and they like it. So that's why I've written both. Yoga is science of self-transformation or personal development. Now, who is this self? Who is this person? That has to be clarified next. So, who is the person? As you can see it. So, for example, if we say an individual, there's a person here by the name Tom. He has come here. So, who has come? Just the body has come? No. So, the body and mind has come. So, the individual is a union, or at least ideally should be a union of mind and body. And then there is something else which we call as a soul, which don't open my mouth about it. Because then 1 hour will not be enough. But which is common. Right? In yoga we don't discuss much soul because we have to transfer the mind. Okay? So, yoga comes from the word yuja. Yuji samadho is the root of the word, which means union. So, yoga is union of mind and body. Do you have a mind? Yes. Have you brought it with you? Yes, you brought it with you. But now depends if you can keep it with you or not. That is union. Unfortunately, we can't do that much about the body. We cannot bring our mind somewhere and body. So, body-mind union is effectiveness. Imagine you are in the kitchen chopping some vegetables. You better have a body-mind integrity while chopping. Otherwise, you will chop the body. Alright? So, to bring this union about, we follow yoga holistically, and that's why I've written the word holistically. Not merely as an exercise form, not merely as meditation, not merely as philosophy, not merely as rest, not merely as prayer, but complete holistic way. Sometimes I give this example. A friend invites you for dinner, and then you go there 7:30, 8 o'clock. and that person gives you to start with soup, and you say okay, and you drink the soup, and then after the soup the person keeps talking, and you talk, and it's 9 o'clock and 9:30 and 10 o'clock and 10:30, and then the person is like obviously showing to you that you have outstayed your welcome, and it's time to go. And you leave, and you still don't know what happened. This person invited me for dinner, and all I was given was soup. Would you call that dinner? Not if you're on a diet, but no. Why? Because a dinner entails soup, salad, whatever. Depends on what cuisine you eat. Main course and perhaps desserts. Just soup or merely tea. No, that's not dinner. Same way with the definition of yoga. If you call it yoga, we need to follow it holistically. And that is very, 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 very important. So just going to a yoga class and stretching some muscles, yes, will give you physical benefits, but may not give you the mental and spiritual benefits associated with yoga. And that's why I've written, following yoga holistically involves not just physical exercise, but a complete lifestyle overhaul. This is an important term. Lifestyle overhaul. Acharan, as it is called in Sanskrit. What is lifestyle overhaul? Means when you start practicing yoga, automatically the physical benefits will overlap with the mental benefits, and mental benefits will have impact with your social life. Social life will have impact with your spiritual life. It all comes together. Is this clear? Even if you choose to practice yoga only physically, it will definitely have emotional, mental, spiritual benefits. It is not separate. It is not separate. It reminds me, once I was teaching a corporate yoga class in one big multinational company, American multinational company, and they told me, Prasad, no chanting Om, no meditation, no discussing God. I said, okay, just purely physical, lower back pain kind of yoga. I did that. And after four classes, 5 employees, they came to me and said, Prasad, we want to discuss something with you. And I was a little, scared. I said, some injury happened or what? And they said, something is happening to us, we don't know what. I said, what happened? He said, we are getting very sensitive. I said, in what way? He says, this was India, and the fact about India is there are sometimes some beggars on the street. And if you are an Indian, you are used to it. So they said, we are born and brought up in India, and we are used to seeing beggars on the street, but since we started practicing yoga, whenever we see a beggar, some emotion comes up. What is that? You see, I was teaching them purely physically, stretching, twisting and stuff like that. Nothing. I said nothing about compassion. I said nothing about heart. Nothing. So finally, I told them that, look, this is a physical benefit radiating to your emotion side. So finally they said, look, we are very busy with our work, but if you are involved in any social cause, we would love to contribute either financially or emotionally or physically. And that was so beautiful. Within 4 classes of physical yoga, they had changed deeply. And that's the impact of yoga. Right? And that's why yoga is still viable no matter how you start. You will start meditation, you will come to physicality. You will start with physicality, you will go to meditation. It's integrated and we cannot separate it. Alright? Is this clear? Because my whole talk will be based on this definition of yoga. Right? It leads to an efficient, diligent practice of yoga, leads to increased efficiency in life, which we all want, especially in today's 21st century modern, urban, sedentary life. And freedom from sorrow. This is classical definition. That's why yoga is defined as Moksha Shastra. I don't want to use much jargons here, but moksha means freedom, final, eternal freedom. And Shastra means science. It's a science. And what qualifies it as science? Quickly, I want to go through it. What makes a science a science? Three things. Hypothesis means a claim, experimentation, and conclusion. Yoga is like that. So, one person will go, oh, my friend told me yoga is good for lower back. Hypothesis. So, the yoga teacher will say, yes, join me for 10 classes. Okay, ideal time. So, she does 10 classes. And after 10 classes, she will go to the teacher and say, yes, my lower back pain went away. Conclusion. Scientific study. Right? So yoga is science of self-transformation. Next time somebody tells you, oh, I don't practice yoga because I am not flexible, you know what to say. Okay? Now, 10 ways. Please feel free to stop me anytime, but I would rather have all our question answers later at the end. Okay? First step out of those 10 steps is acceptance. Very, 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 very important. Why acceptance? Because the journey of yoga starts with acceptance. If you really want to change, if you really want to transform, you need to accept. Right? For example, a simple example. If somebody wants to quit smoking, and if they are denying that, no, I'm not a smoker, or smoking is not affecting me, smoking is not affecting my family, will they ever change? No. There needs to be an acceptance that yes, I need to do this. And we 21st century people are in the beautiful habit of postponing. Right? Look inward. We all know this. And I'm saying this from my own personal experience. Postpone. Your lower back is uncomfortable, you say, I'll go to the doctor tomorrow. And then tomorrow becomes next year. And next year becomes 10 years. And bam, you have to go through surgery. And then you say, oh, it started in 1993. You are telling your case history to the doctor. And you wonder, why didn't I go to the doctor in 1993? Because acceptance was not there. Don't wait for doctors to tell you to go to yoga, please. Alright? Acceptance is honest recognition of where you stand as of now after reviewing the pros and cons. Acceptance is important in not just yoga, any life. I don't like my job, but it pays well. Take a deep breath, as we say in yoga, and just accept it. I don't like my job. So then you have a choice. You want to work for money, or you want to work for self-satisfaction. And then whatever choice, again you take a deep breath and choose. Like you say, Ram ka naam leke, do it. Right? Take the name of the Lord and do it. Third, acceptance is a neutral state. Means what? Many people think acceptance means self-criticism. No. This is ingrained in our system from our education system. I have asked many of my students to write points about what they accept about themselves, and all they have done is they have written points criticizing themselves. Acceptance is not criticism. Acceptance is accepting how you are. If you have put on weight after Christmas and New Year's binge, you better accept it and join a gym or better yoga class. Right? It is not a state of resignation. This is what I'm saying. What means resignation? I should not have eaten cake in Christmas. Too many New Year's parties. I drank too much wine. And now look at me on 5th January. I am 5 pounds more on weighing scale. I should not have done that. What to do? It's like that. Forget it. Next year. No, it's not resignation. Actually, even though I've said it neutral state, it is a state of motivation. Please remember that and don't postpone it. Right? I mean, I want to do yoga, and next time you meet that person, I still want to do yoga, and then I travel to countries every year, and I go there once a year, and then, hi, you were going to join my workshop last year? Yeah, I still want to, and doesn't. And then next year, hi, you still want to, doesn't. Push. Let it happen. It's beautiful. There's not even one person who is unhappy with practicing yoga since last 7,000 years. If you want one product that you can trust, one service that you can trust, it is this. Okay? Acceptance. And not just in yoga, let me be very honest. In all aspects of life. Take a deep breath and accept and plan your next course of action, whatever it is. Second, worth. And I really want to mention this. What is this worth? Realize your value and importance in context of your family, your work, near and dear ones. Why? And this is very important point. And this is psychologically creeping within us. For example, we are busy. Yeah? Everybody is busy. We work 12 hours a day. And then, don't have time for exercise. Yeah? We say that. Right? Don't have time. Only on weekends. And the weekends you're too tired to work out or do yoga or rest. Forget exercise. We don't even have time to rest. Think about it. Ask yourself. Right? Even for rest, we nowadays go for a walk, which is exercise. Or I've seen people going for running. I want to rest. I go for a run. No, run cannot be rest. It's completely different. Start valuing yourself. Especially if you have families, you need to realize that a family depends on you. You're a father, you're a mother, you're a whoever. Family loves you, family values you, and you realize that value. Don't postpone it. And I would not tell you this if I would meet you 100 years ago, 200 years ago. You know why? Because 200 years ago, sundown, lights off, sleep. Today, sundown, lights on, and then internet on, which is even worse. Right? Please, this is a very important one. As important as acceptance. Value yourself. Like I said, don't wait for the doctor to tell you have to exercise. I know personally people, first heart attack is a wake up call. Second heart attack, not even they don't wake up from that call. So second heart attack is they wake up from that call. So don't wait for that. Just realize it. Right? This will translate in you taking care of your body and mind without feeling guilty. And I purposely want to mention this because I work with a lot of women who are mothers, and their whole day is distributed over their family, their kids, which is fantastic. But realize your importance too, please. Alright? And last, taking care of yourself is not selfish. Please. Self-care is not selfish. And I have seen this ingrained in ideas of spiritual people and yoga teachers also. How can I sleep for 8 hours? I am a yogi. No, you are a yogi, so you have to sleep for 8 hours, because yogis believe in effortlessness. Please. Our whole next presentation is based on these two. Acceptance and realizing your worth. If you have many people responsible in your life, then you better realize your worth. If you are a single person, okay, I am not saying don't realize your worth. But you are less accountable to many people. How can you suffer? Imagine if you go to the hospital, if you have a family of 4 people who are dependent on you physically, emotionally, and if you are unwell and go to the hospital for 2 weeks, doesn't our whole system break down? Not just logistically, but also emotionally. Realize that. Okay, I'm making a very sensitive point here, please bear with me. But it's based on that. And I'm not just cooking ideas from my head. This is whole summary of Bhagavad Gita chapter 2. Okay? Now, we are basing our presentation on 2 things, acceptance and worth. Then comes the physicality, the body. Why do we start with the body in yoga? Can anyone guess? What do we have? Lata?
Because we can see it physically.
Yes, it is accessible. So you have choice. Luckily we are not so complicated as we think we are. We just have 2 things to work on, body and mind. What is easier to work upon? Body. Why? Because it is physically accessible. You can touch it, you can feel it, you can move it. Mind, if you want to try holding the mind, try to meditate and then tell me. We will do that maybe for a few minutes. So let's look at where we stand on the body. So our third point is body. So exercise the body with asana or posture practice, as we say in yoga. The exercising part of yoga is called asana. What is the definition of asana? It doesn't mean exercise. You know what it means? It means to be. To be. Asa bhuvi. To be. It's opposite. It's not to do. It's to be. Have you experienced to be? Means, I will tell you. I have to move away from the mic. To be means, imagine a nice sofa in your house, and at the end of the day you sit on your sofa and just that is to be. But to be on the sofa like this, you have to take the effort to go near the sofa, bend your knees, bend through the hip, and that is to do. So we do to be. I'm making it very simple. Now the modern word has got lost in to do, whilst the ancient world or the real pioneers of yoga keep bringing us back to be. But unfortunately we can't be unless we do. So we do. But we do with awareness and ease. We call it effortlessness. So if you can't reach the floor in a forward bend, doesn't matter. Why? Because if you keep practicing, after 1 year you will. But if you want to reach the floor today, you will not reach there after 1 year, because you will break your back and you will be in the hospital. Right? So let me finish these 4, because they are very, very important aspects of our life, and then we'll do some physical practice. Alright? Second is what? Breath. Very, very important. It is the first thing that suffers because of our active life, stressful life. So, how do we manage breath in yoga? You know, sometimes I feel funny as a yoga teacher to teach people how to breathe. And I'm being honest. I have to teach people how to breathe, something that we all come naturally with. But this is how the modern lifestyle has inflicted on us as an individual, physically and mentally. That we have to relearn how to breathe correctly. Right? And that's why, what is correct breathing? Let me define. Correct breathing means regulated. And why do I say regulated? Is our breathing regulated throughout the day? No. What distracts the breathing or what creates disharmony? Emotion. Simple. When you have stress in your life, breathing is short and fast, rapid. When you are relaxed like that, to be, you don't even, the breathing is so effortless that you don't even realize you breathe. So what do yogis say? If you want to sort out the mind, if you want to relax the mind, breath is the key. So body, breath and mind. So breath is somewhere middle. Right? Breath we can manipulate, isn't it? Mind we cannot. It's beautifully said that the breath is the horse on which the mind rides. Right? So correct breathing means regulated and deep. And when I say deep, I don't mean, this is very, very important, because I have seen even many yoga teachers teach like this. Deep breathing means they will do this. Was this a deep breath? What was it? Just a deep inhalation. This is not a breath. Breath is, don't forget to exhale, otherwise you will faint and fall. Yes, please understand this, because I have seen many people faint in a yoga class because all they do is they forget to breathe out. And it's called hyperventilation. And you hyperventilate yourself. If you hyperventilate, sometimes you feel good, you feel light. But that's not the correct way. So a correct breath should be inhale deeply and exhale completely. Exhale completely. Remember this quick way to inhale deeply, exhale completely. Inhale deeply, exhale completely. Don't forget the exhale. I mean, there's a lot of subtle science behind it. So, yeah. Is this correct? Is this understood? That's it. Just practice correct breathing for 1 year, your whole life will change. And I guarantee, I'm not exaggerating, no? Please. Third is rest. Allowing the body to rest, to recover and to recuperate. Now the reason I'm pausing is because there's so much to say on this topic. Do we really rest? You know, because we have a lot of, many times people say, oh, I'm so busy, no time to rest, no time to take easy. Consciously take rest. And let me go into the specifics quickly. Do you know why we can't rest? Sorry, again, it's a very, very crucial point. Why we can't rest? No, stress is just a reason. Thoughts, yeah, but what are you without thoughts? I'll give you a very, very, very deep reason why we can't rest or why we don't want to rest. It's because we have been told. So some of you get it, yeah? We have been told that if you just sit doing nothing, you have no value. हाँ? आराम हराम है, इसके लिए कुछ भी करो. Doesn't matter if it's purposeful or not. कुछ भी ऐसे इधर से उधर, you know? It's like God is watching, act busy. Kind of. No. And then we get into this loop of creating unneeded activity in our life, and after a few years you're like, oh, I am responsible for so many things, how did I create this mess in my life? That's why we can't sleep. I know people who wear their pajamas, brush their teeth and lie down on the bed and they are doing their to-do list on the phone for tomorrow. before going to bed. How will you sleep? You know, that's why in old times there was a beautiful way of prayer, praying before going to bed. I'm not saying you start praying, but it was a very, very good way of consciously detaching yourself from all that happened in the day, surrendering everything to God or whoever you believe in, and then now it's yours and you go and sleep. Again, this point is tied up to the second point, worth. So please rest. And you know, honestly, the invisible impact of modern life is so strong that we need at least 8 hours of sleep. So take it. And I'm not saying 4 hours in the night, 4 hours in the afternoon. No, it will not work. Your body has to recuperate, and it recuperates only in sleep or meditation. So whichever you learn first, practice that. Clear? Please rest. Okay? And I have a theory that we have become experts in distracting. So we don't rest, we distract. So what am I going to do? Today I am not going to work. So what do? I say sit on my couch, eat some chips and read a horror novel. It's not rest. Your heart is beating. Or I go for a run, 30k. No, please, rest. Relax. Drink chamomile tea, listen to nice soothing music. Just do nothing. Your mind will hate it. I'm telling you, mind will hate it. Mind will say, do something. Then you go to the phone and start the TV. Or just, and remember what I told you. Tell yourself, I am worthy enough to take this break. So I will. May not be a whole day, at least 2 hours. Be quiet. Slow down your walk. Slow down your talk. Okay? Last, diet. It's called ahara. Ahara. Why diet I have written? And every major scripture, including Bhagavad Gita, talks about diet. So diet is, we call in yoga, I say Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kosha means the body, the physicality is made of what you eat. If you eat burgers for the next 60 days, you'll look like a burger. And this is true. It's not some ultra occult yogic wisdom. It is common sense. The reason I am mentioning it is, again, the impact of modern technology and life has really messed up with our diet. For example, inclusion of fat, inclusion of sugar, inclusion of stimulative agents like coffee or tea. Some things that has become a regular part of our life may not be necessary for us, like sugar. In mid-1800s, sugar was only for the royalties. Right? So, eating on time, very, very important. Eating fresh, eating according to activity. If you don't want to put on weight, do that. Especially the dinners, especially the dinners, and especially with us Indians, that additional sweet at the end of the dinner is a major killer, right? I mean, you have your meal and then you have 2 gulab jamuns, is the same, right? Choosing the right food. That's why I want to leave you with one question. Before, if you have difficulties with managing your food intake, ask yourself, what am I eating for? There are 3 things we eat for. Number 1, out of emotion. Number 2, out of taste, and number 3, out of hunger. Ideally, what should we eat for? Out of hunger. You're hungry, you eat. Okay, chalo, 50% for taste also. Otherwise we are not goats that we just eat the same kind of grass for our whole life. Okay, so ingenuity of human brain, we cook different foods. Okay, taste also is okay. Third, which is having a major impact on modern life, is eating out of emotion, emotional eating. It's a major cause of obesity in developed nations. And then when you are emotional eater, you will not eat salad or carrot or tomato, right? Of course not. Who wants to eat a tomato anymore? Yeah, and we have, and look at our state. You want to buy a chocolate? Which chocolate? You want to buy a coffee? Go to the next coffee shop. Ask for coffee. And they say, which coffee? And then there are, this bean, that bean, with milk, and then which milk? Soya milk, normal milk, and then with sugar, without sugar, and then decaf and calf. Oof! So much for our little brain. So please be aware of what goes in. Please be aware. And like we say, is a common joke in India. What exercise to do to reduce weight? You know this joke? When the food comes in front of you, you just move your neck like this. No. Is this clear? Any quick questions before we do some mobilization? Yes.
When you think about frozen food, it was fresh, but freeze it and eat it later.
Look, everything I have said can become a workshop topic for yoga. What is frozen? How much frozen? Yeah, use common sense. Yeah, I would suggest that if the vegetable is fresh, for example, if you've cooked palak paneer, one of my favorite, and last night you cooked it, and last night you cooked it fresh, and somebody didn't eat at home, and then you kept it in the fridge, eat it tomorrow, at least for the next dinner. But not like processed food, no expiry date, best before 2 years from now. Imagine, impossible. 2 years. Like sometimes I see this ginger paste and all. Yeah, ginger. In traditional Ayurveda, they say ginger and onion, a lot of prana. That's why you can't have ginger and meditate. You can have ginger and go for a walk. Yes, but the ginger paste, best before date, 2 years. Then I'm thinking, what happens to the prana then? Nothing. You're just eating that thing. Yeah. It's okay. So you decide as a person, you decide how much.
But see, no preservative added, because I could, but I just don't want to throw it away.
No, it's not about preservative. Even if you find a perfectly organic and that plant has never seen any artificial chemical in his life, still there is something called as bioavailability, which will reduce over a period of time. Eating anything fresh is very highly bioavailable. If you store it, what we call as prana or life force in it will reduce. Then you just eat it like a matter, like a stone, and then it goes and sits and fills up your stomach. So fast processing. Okay? That's why reduce your processed food, like something that sits on a shelf. Right? Yeah, I mean, if need be, then yes, but don't increase your dependence on processed food. Okay? So what we'll do now is we'll do a quick, what we call as joint mobilization. Are you ready? You don't have to get up and all, but very, very important. This joint mobilization is very, very important because we have become very planar creatures. Planar means we move in planes. Not planes, we move in that also. But we are like this, or we turn like this. All this movement and all this We don't do. When was the last time you did this? Some wedding. Right? No. But 100 years ago, our grandfathers were used to do this. You know, the homemaker would always reach out, you know, physically active. Like a squat, as they say, Indian squat. Not many can do it anymore. So, a very, very simple way of starting to work the body is called as joint mobilization. Okay, you don't even have to get up from the chair. And it's especially good for those who work in a sedentary way in the office. So, the first joint mobilization is movement of the neck. We'll start from the joint of the top. Just moving the head up and down. Right? Gently. So, look up, inhale. Look down, exhale. Look up, inhale. Look down, exhale. Try to go the full range of motion. Means look up as much as your body allows you and go down as much as your neck allows you. But remember to breathe along. As you look up, you inhale. As you look down, you exhale. This is the correct way of breathing. As you look up, you inhale. As you look down, you inhale. Do not move your shoulders. This is very important. Means don't do this. Shoulder stays steady. Just the neck. Especially good for those who have migraine issues. Anyone with migraine problems here? Please do this. Because one of the reasons for migraine problem is this whole neck area becomes tight. So when we do this, we loosen it up. The second movement is moving the head from side to side. Very gently. Again, inhale left to right, exhale right to left. Inhale left to right, exhale right to left. So you can tell yourself to do it for say 10 times. Okay, stop. There is no ultimate limit to this. I will not say do it twice a day. No, do it whenever. It is so safe and so simple. You can do it whenever. Even if you do it 10 times a day, doesn't matter. Because you are not doing something unusual. You are doing something that your body is made to do. So it's not some therapy method. Okay. The second is very, very important and very, very effective. It's called a shoulder mobilization. So how do we do it? We keep the hands on the shoulders like this and rotate. Whatever your range of motion, don't push. Yeah, please. You can come here.
The people can move in front if there's no space at the back.
Yeah, please. Yeah, nice big circles, whatever possible. If you have some shoulder issue and right shoulder is not moving so much, left shoulder is moving a lot, great, doesn't matter. Now, breathing, right? So what will you do? A simple formula, remember this. Not just for yoga. Yeah, sorry.
Is this you go up or do you bring it in?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So what we generally do is 10 times clockwise, 10 times anti-clockwise. But the main thing to remember is whenever your arms move away from the body, you inhale. Your lungs are expanding. So when the elbows go back, you inhale. When the elbows come forward, you exhale. Simple. Wherever. Even in tennis, while playing tennis, you do this and you hit with an exhale. Okay? So, let's do 5 times clockwise, 5 times anti-clockwise. This was one way of doing it. The second way of doing it is using another bone, you could say, the scapula, that's your shoulder blade. So watch. We did it like this before, okay? So the movement was only from the shoulder. Now we have to move it from the shoulder blade. So watch. Earlier it was like this. Nothing much was happening here. Now, watch how I'm moving. I'm squeezing the shoulder blades, pushing it. Squeezing, So you'll have to move your upper body slightly. Try. Close your eyes and enjoy it. It's not a punishment. I don't want to make you feel like a school child, because you are all behaving very well. Alright? But manage the breath, please. The shoulder blade. You know why? Because when you go to a massage, whenever that massage therapist will touch or press here, how do you feel? Because the trapezius and the rhomboid, these are the muscles that become very tight. You know why? Because we are all sitting like this. I'll show you. I have a slide. See how we sit? This is us. Find out which one is you. Look, especially if you are sitting like this. If you are sitting like this, no, this is becoming a default posture nowadays. Do you know there is it also has a name. It's called a forward head syndrome. These are new diseases. Forward head syndrome. iPad finger. Text neck. Blackberry syndrome. But Blackberry is gone, so now we have to find some other whatever. I mean, you can call it whatever. I'm just telling you. Okay? But look, this is really how and if whatever you're looking at is more interesting, the head goes further and further away. We're going to look like giraffes in the next 200 years. God forbid. Okay? So remember this, you can do any time. Especially if you're flying a lot. You know, those economic class seats. Interesting movie. Right? Especially if you're drinking some Coca-Cola or something, your body will be so dehydrated. Right? Your muscles will be tighter, much. Remember, try this. In 2 hours flight, in an economic class, your muscles will be much tighter than sitting at home for 2 hours. Like watching a movie at home. Why? Because the air in the aircraft is very dry. Alright? The third is this joint. So for that you'll have to obviously stand up. So this way. Hip rotation, very simple, very simple. 10 times clockwise, 10 times anti-clockwise. Gently, please. Otherwise it becomes not a yoga presentation, Bollywood dance presentation. Okay, if you take the feet apart, your hip movement will reduce. Okay, but I would suggest if you want to bring more mobility, bend your knees slightly. So if you bend your knees, you will realize that your hip is rotating at much more range of motion. This is very good, especially for people with lower back pain and knee pain. Why lower back pain? Because when you have lower back pain, this whole region will become so tight that you will not even be able to move this region. Ideally, it should move independently. But these muscles become so tight that our lower back region and hip region become like one structure. And then movements happen something like this, very stiff.
What is the distance between the feet?
As wide as the hip, bend your knees slightly and just rotate. Gently. Gently, please, please. Please gently, especially if your muscle is cold. If you're not warmed up, be gentle. There's something called as power yoga. So, this is shower yoga. You can do that in shower also. And anti-clockwise. Very, very effective. Your lower back immediately will open up. Okay, relax. The next one is a little challenging. I will just show you. If you want, you do it, because it involves slight balancing, which is hip movement. This one. And this is very important, especially if you're sitting. So you can hold your neighbor or go against the wall, and because if the balancing is not proper, place your hands on your waist, lift your right knee, you are well equipped, and rotate the leg. Do you see it? Can you see it? Come in the front. No, we have a lot of space here. Come here. Come in the front. Come in the front. Come.
If there is no place at the back, I request everybody to come in the front, please.
Come. It's all
There's a lot of space here. Yeah. Please.
this one. Okay. You can hold. Place your hands on the waist for stability. This is important. Or if it's difficult, hold the table. Hold the neighbor. Solidarity. Okay, another way is watch. Rotate, tap. Rotate, tap. Rotate, tap. So get a support. Alright? So the leg doesn't stay in the air for the whole time. Gently. Again, not like this. Not karate class. Simple, small range of motion is also okay. For example, this is also okay, because the joint will still move. It's a ball and socket joint. It will still move. Be gentle, please. So only body we have. If you want new body, next life. Sticking to your yoga philosophy. Gentle. Please be gentle. Kabir. Have you heard of the saint Kabir? He says Sahaj. Gentle, effortless. Other leg.
What about the shoes? Suppose you remove the shoes and you do it in the office. Or can you do it with the
Shoe has nothing to do with it, because it's a mobilization is happening from here. It doesn't. If you're feeling comfortable, then remove. It's about the hip. You wear shoes or you wear a dumbbell in your foot, doesn't matter. Remember, we are doing mobilization. The movement is important. How much is not important. Move. Okay? Have you done both? Don't just do one leg. Do both and then finish. Sit. When did we start?
6:38.
When did we start?
We started at 5:30.
It's clear? Okay? Do this 10 times a day. Please mobilize. Okay? Because this is where we are heading at. This is modern. And my request to you is, humble request is, if you have kids at home, especially pre-teens and teens, please make them do this, because they are all forward head. Notice at home, all forward head. We are going back to being apes. Okay? Any questions on this? Yeah.
Will you give us a little flyer or something, because they will probably all be forgotten by
Okay, we'll send it.
Leave your email address
Yes.
outside in the register. Whatever email we receive, we will forward it to you.
Yeah. Look. Now, look here. An average human head is 12 pounds. With every 2 degrees of moving forward, the head weight that the spine has to bear increases by 20 pounds. So our cervical spine is only created to bear 6 pounds. Doesn't depend on your IQ, okay? It's the same for everybody. But when you go 2 inches forward, 32. 4 inches forward, 42 pounds. And this is all documented. Alright? So, very, very important. Now, this is clear? We started with acceptance, then we went to self-worth. So, self-worth.
How can you read without putting your head forward? You're supposed to hold it.
No, you're supposed to sit straight. How did you read a book, your textbook, when you were in school? Like this? It was on the desk, but you moved also.
Yes.
As a child, you moved.
Hold a book like that all the time.
Nowadays they do. Nowadays, you know, the violin players have this. No, you hold it like this. Hold it like this. This is, we have to. And it's not about the book. It's about mainly with the phone and the laptop. Phone is like this. Laptop is like this. Okay. So we will now enter the mental domain. This is enough for the body. Asana, that is movement or the postures, breath, rest and diet. Okay, that was the zone of the body. Now we'll quickly look at the zone of the mind. Clarity. If there is one word you should take home today from this talk, it is clarity. Clarity means what? Generating clarity of the mind. Clarity of the mind leads to focused effort. Isn't it? It's a simple word, clarity, but it's very, very effective. If you're not clear about something, if you go to a shopping mall and you're not clear what you want to buy, what happens? Your credit card overrun, no? Clarity reduces energy expenditure. I want to buy a toothbrush, so you go, you get a toothbrush, you pay, you come out. I want this type of toothbrush, you go, and there are 100 toothbrushes telling you buy me, buy me, buy me. You pick up the one that you want, you come out. But if you are unclear, see, non-clarity leads to confusion, and confusion leads to frustration. As simple as that. In Bhagavad Gita, the whole Bhagavad Gita is because of this confusion of Arjuna. The chapter's name is that. The saved energy can be used for self-growth and peace, isn't it? If you're confused, the energy, mind-body energy is wasted, and you can't focus on either. Like for example, if you have some problems at work, and you come back from work at home, and you carry your problems home, and then your family understands that, hey, what happened? Where's my joyful dad today? He's come back home as a businessman or a CEO. He's not come back home today as a dad. Clarity comes from prioritization. Very important. Prioritization comes from acceptance. Point 1. See, I told you, it's all connected. Please feel free to take pictures. Nothing of this is copyright. Okay. Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, what I am telling you, Arjuna, doesn't even belong to me. So who am I to claim this as mine? Next is patience. Haha. What's that? Right? What's that? This is something new. One virtue. That's why my first point is, one virtue we all have to create. In the age of instant, patience needs to be consciously, this is the main, consciously created. Impatience comes from, and this is very important point, I'm going to spend some time on it. Fear, a sense of loss or lack. Please and try to understand the base of this point. Impatience comes from fear. So what is a fear? Impatience makes you feel a certain kind of threat, not to life, but to your goals. Isn't it? I want to achieve this. I want to achieve 6 things in 1 month. Why? I don't know. But I want to. We don't ask that why. And then out of the 6 things, if we don't get even 1, what happens? We slip to lack. And what suffers? Point number 2, worth. If you don't meet your target, self-worth is affected. Patience. Take back home this point. Apart from the other 9, that is. It is funny. This word has some magic in it. Because, sometimes in my talks I build up. And there is one thing you have to follow through, and everybody says, tell us. And then I, take them round and round. Tell us. And when I say, trust, everybody. It's hard. But it is the only thing that can hold you. Shraddha, Vishwas, as we call it. Self-doubt. Has anybody faced self-doubt? Everyone. It has become a default setting. How will I do it? I will not be able to do it. Forget it. Self-doubt. And what is opposite of self-doubt? Self-trust. As simple as that. So self-doubt is one of the biggest hurdle in living life to our full potential. And therefore, self-trust is the only way to work on doubt. Is there any other way? It's simple, it's linguistic. Doubt and trust. If you don't want doubt, build trust. If you're not able to build trust, put up with your doubt. And I'm telling you, more in the Indian context, we are very good devotees. Fine. We are fantastic devotees. We pray. We go to temples. We do offerings. But you know what is the real test of your devotion? Trusting the one that you are devoted to. So for me, I can't say I'm a devotee of this God and yet take stress. Right? If I take stress, that means I don't believe in my God or deity. Simple. I have doubts in his or her ability. No. I understand, as humanly, it's difficult for us to trust ourselves. So at least trust the universe, the God, the energy, the providence, whatever you want to call it. Trust something. In the scriptures of yoga, they say there are 3 things you can trust. Number 1, God. Number 2, Guru. And number 3, self. Whichever is easier, start with it. If you don't have a Guru, you don't want to trust yourself, trust God. If you don't believe in God, but you have a Guru, trust the Guru. If you don't trust the Guru, you don't believe in God, trust yourself. Whatever is easy, start with that. Clear? Right? Generate trust in self and faith in existence to counter impatience. Why impatient? Because when you are impatient, impatience comes with what? I have to do this, 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 I have to do this. When you trust, you let it happen. Okay? And the last point. This is why we are here for. Joy. To enjoy, to relish life. In the busyness of life, don't forget the simple joys of life. Please. Live life sincerely and not seriously. This is very important. People mistake sincerely means seriously. No, it's very different. You can be sincere yet be light-hearted. Okay? Start your day, and this is very, very, I highly recommend this. Start your day with being thankful. For a chance to explore life and explore yourself through life. And if you can, end your day also with that. Being thankful will keep you humble. End your day by being grateful. Look, I'm just playing with words here, okay? Thankful and grateful is more or less the same. So, end your day by being grateful for the positive learning experiences you had. So, what to do with the negative experiences? Let go. Don't fight. Let go. Drop them. Whatever positives you have understood, keep them. They are your strength. Whatever negatives you have experienced are your learnings. That's it. Done. Yoga philosophy in little over 1 hour. So, last summary. The base of changing your life through yoga is through acceptance that you want to change and realizing you are worthy enough to change. Then you go to the zone of the body by taking care of the body, by using the breath. Why? Because the breath is the bridge to the mind. Then resting, and you see the rest and worth are very, very closely related. And then diet. Why? Because diet fuels the body. And then zone of the mind, clarity. Why? Because without clarity, what happens? I'm giving you keywords. No clarity, confusion. Like doubt and trust, clarity and confusion. Okay? Patience. I will do what I can and things will happen in their own time. Simple law of nature. Sometimes it happens in our life. We push, things still don't happen because the time has not come yet. Let it come. Okay? Ninth, trust. Or faith, you can call it. In what? God, Guru or self. If you don't have a Guru, you are a therapist. Okay? Nowadays, it's okay. Last, joy. You know what? You have to embrace life. Yeah? In yoga philosophy, they say, embrace life. Because if you don't embrace life, how will you know yourself? So we know ourselves only through life. Is there anything else? Can you escape life? You can't escape life. Okay? So, this was my simple offering to all of you. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. I generally do 300-hour courses, so for me, and I love to talk, so for me...
Maybe a minute of meditation? Just
Sure, definitely. It will, definitely. So what we'll do is, we will meditate with the breath. And we will experience how simple it is to relax. Right? So just keep your hands on your thighs, rotate your shoulder and drop your shoulder, keep the head in a neutral place, lean against the backrest, easy, right? Close your eyes and just follow my voice. Just follow my voice. Consciously relax your body. Relax your head and your face. Become aware of your head and your face. Relax your shoulders and your arms. Become aware of your shoulders and your arms. Relax your chest and your back. Take a deep breath. Feel your chest rising and exhale completely. Relax your lower back and your abdominal area. Take a deep breath again and relax your abdomen and lower back. Become aware of your hip and your legs. Inhale. Relax your hip, your legs. Become aware of your ankle and your feet touching the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Relax your ankles and your feet. Now become aware of your entire body as if you are looking at yourself in the mirror. Picture yourself in front of your eyes and breathe deeply 5 times in that image. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Continue. And as you breathe, feel your body relaxing more and more, gently, no rush. Two breaths more. As you inhale, you become aware of your body. As you exhale, the body relaxes. Last breath, inhale. As you inhale, become aware of the body. Exhale, the body relaxes. Now, let your eyes be shut. And just be there. Completely relaxed. No rush to open your eyes. Just enjoy that sense of relaxation. And that attitude, with that experience, very gently open your eyes. Very gently. Now if I asked you to go for running immediately, will it happen? Why? Because your whole system is relaxed. And this is how you can relax with attention and breathing. Okay? Thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask now or later.
How to bring clarity to your mind?
How to bring what?
Clarity.
Clarity comes with acceptance. You sit on the table and say, start with acceptance, where am I now? And then prioritize. I give this example generally. Clarity, for example. You want to buy a house, right? And you want to take a loan from the bank. What do you have to do? You can't just go and give me whatever money you have. Not like this, right? First you have to find out what house you want to buy, how much money you have, and then you go to the bank with an offer. It's exactly like that. Sit down, understand where am I now in life, what can I eliminate? Eliminate that. Eliminate what can be eliminated. Then whatever you are left with, adapt and become strong to work it. This is clarity. We have difficulties with clarity because we can't let go of what we don't need anymore. Very nice question. Very practical. Anyone else? Yeah.
I have a question. Normally suppose we exercise regularly or you do yoga and keep fit, but for some reason you are traveling or your routine is disrupted. For some reason, for a period of a month.
Yes.
Then you come back and you again restart, that's
Yes.
always very good.
Yes.
Normally you will be no problem.
Yes.
But sometime, in this disruption period, something happens, not accident, some reason, and you get sudden, very severe pain in some part of the body. Now, you have to take a decision, because you know that you accepted yoga is good, you have been using all years. Is it a good time to start, or you have to first deal with the pain, get it over?
No, start. Pain, honestly, there are schools of thought will say finish with the pain, but I think pain will never finish. Only way pain will finish is by starting yoga. So dukkha nivarana is the one of the basis of yoga. So you don't wait for pain to end. Then you say, no, all my desires, I had a friend like this, all my desires will finish, then I will do yoga. Desires never finish. Start with it. And if you are physically incapable of doing yoga, let me say this, you at least have your breath. Right now what did you do? Last 2 minutes you felt so relaxed. So just by becoming aware of your breath, you can actually heal the pain and manage your pain. Just by sitting and breathing. So it's very effective post-accidents. Nowadays in America, medical faculty has realized the benefit of breath work, pranayam, as pain and trauma management. There's a big study. Huge. Okay? Anyone else?
I have a question. You said that sometimes when people are about to sleep, are on bed, what they start doing is plan about tomorrow. Like I'm a working person. But in my case, it's just the opposite. I don't get sleep. I'm very active. The whole day I'm at work and even after coming back. In spite of doing so much, I don't get proper sleep at night. And then, just to fight with it or to find a way of getting, I start deciding what am I supposed to do tomorrow. I start writing or imagine to start doing mind mapping. And there goes the whole night. I'm awake till 2, 3, 4 in the morning. The next day turns out to be bad.
No.
So how to cope up with that?
Okay. I'll answer this in quickly. Yeah, you cannot sleep by activating your mind. It's simple, right? So when do you go to bed? What time?
Around 10:30.
10:30. Okay, let's assume 10:30. When do you have your dinner?
At about 8.
8. Fantastic. So let's assume 8, from 8:30 to 10:30, consciously slow down yourself physically. Understand this. Slow down yourself physically. Then don't again start doing. Just cut off, whatever it is. Walk slowly, go down under your building for a gentle walk. Drink things like chamomile tea, not chai, then you will never sleep with sugar. Listen to soothing music. Just relax. Start relaxing, because your body is not used to relax. It doesn't. You can't blame it. You can't blame your body. It's in a habit of 20-30 years of activity. Now suddenly you want to rest because you practice yoga. It can't be. Start slowing down. From 8:30 to 10:30, you should start consciously slowing down so much that by 10:15 your body knows now it's time to. In fact, if you get into the habit, within a week or so, you will start falling asleep at 10 itself. Body will take the sleep if you give it rest. Okay? Try that. Let me know.
My friend.
Yeah. Last question.
She actually wants the whole information for the children at home. She wants to know how we can get that. Because we have little kids at home and
You can tell them.
no, but it's difficult to memorize each part that you explain. So it's better to have a leaf.
Okay, I will make a summary of this. I will make a handout of this, and I will email it.
Yeah, we can give our email address.
No, I totally agree with you that this is important for kids.
Sometimes they bounce back. So if you write your email ID very clearly, we will send it to you as soon as we receive it.
Okay, last question. Yeah.
Meditation. How to do meditation? Because mind is always restless. How to control that?
Okay, now I'll spend 1 minute on this. How to meditate. For meditation, you will have to learn how to slow down. I can tell you, I can give you 5 ways of meditating, but there will only be ways of meditating. You will not become meditative. Meditation is a method, and then it has an impact. It's like saying, how can I sleep? What can I say? I will tell you, brush your teeth, have shower, wear pajama and lie down on your bed. That's it. That's the max I can tell you, right? After that, how can I teach you how to sleep? Meditation is exactly like that. I can give you techniques. But just like I told you for sleep, same is applicable for meditation. Because ultimately meditation will not happen unless your mind rests. So for that, first thing is start slowing down physically.
No, but physically you slow down, but mentally you are alert.
Then focus on the breath. Alert is not the thing we are talking about. Focus on the breath. For next 1 month, my tip to you is just watch your breath. That's it. And you will know what I'm talking about. Just watch your breath. Because we can't stop the mind just one fine day. Our mind is running at 120 miles per hour and suddenly now you want to make it 50. No. Right? So it's a process. And not just me. You go to Tibet and you have these monks sitting there for 30 years, 40 years, still trying to deal with their mind. And I have met people like this. It's a process. It takes time. Be patient. But focus on the breath. It's an easy way of doing it. Okay, I am giving you a very honest answer. I can teach you techniques and I say go do it and it will not happen, and then you will say, oh, meditation I tried, it doesn't work. No, there's a process. So slow down first, then focus on breath, and then it will happen like sleep. We say sleep came. I tried to sleep and sleep happened, right? It's like.
What is the percentage of people who attain the highest meditation?
Very, very rare. In Bhagavad Gita it says, in Bhagavad Gita, 5,000 years ago his ratio was 0.01%. Manushyanam sahastreshu kaschidyatati siddhaye yathataamapi siddhanam, chapter 7 it says.
Then why do it?
Because of that. For example, 1% are billionaires in the world now, but everybody wants to be a billionaire. Why? Right? If only 1% are billionaires, not even 1%, 0.01%. Sorry, 1%. It would be nice if 1% of the world population was billionaires. But everybody wants to become a billionaire. If not billionaire, chalo, millionaire.
Talking about meditation, one thing like psychologically, when we feel we are going to enter a temple, we prepare ourselves, right? For example, cover our heads, take off our shoes, wash our hands, and then are ready to bow in front of the deity we meet him. So it's a mental preparation, right? Purifying the thoughts. So in the same way, when I took a course in how to do meditation, like he was asking, I was told that, okay, we have to prepare ourselves, sit cross-legged, close our eyes, and in the same mudra like the yogis in the past used to say, but this is me and this is the Lord, and I'll come in. Does it help?
It helps. I'm not saying it helps. Look, that's why I give you the analogy of sleep. You come to me and say, teach me how to sleep. I say, okay, what will I tell you? Have a shower, brush your teeth, wear your pajamas, lie down on your bed. That's it. But doesn't mean you will never sleep on sofa. Sometimes you sleep on sofa. So bed is not a have to for meditation. Pajama is not a have to. It's like if you don't wear pajama, it doesn't mean you will never be able to sleep. But yes, being comfortable promotes sleep, right? So it's like that. Yeah?
Can you meditate lying down?
Look, traditionally in the scriptures they say yes, but they don't encourage, because if you lie down the mind will sleep, and sleeping is not meditation. Sleeping is not meditation. I had once a friend who used to sit and sleep in meditation. When we used to come out of meditation, so it was a very deep meditation. And I used to tell him, you were sleeping. He would, we were in an ashram, and he would say, Oof, Prasad, that was very deep. I was completely gone. I say, yeah, you were gone because you were sleeping. Because he used to snore. Right? Nobody will snore in meditation. So, okay? Thank you. We'll if you have questions, we'll listen. Thank you.